Welcome to the jungle with Toki and the Crow.
Got your head nod. Got your head nod. I'm deadly when I
Hey, so unfortunately the Crow wasn't on this next video. He wasn't around when I did it.
No
It's
invite.
with Greg Hire. He is a ex-Wildcat from Perth. He has 4 premiership rings. The dude's a beast. One of the nicest guys I've ever met. This is a good one. You know, he talks about a little bit with his mental health charity work that he does with Stitch in Time. Have a listen. It's should be good to sit down in your car and listen to, because also the Crow's voice isn't on it.
I'm not on it at all. I didn't get an invite. I was meant to be part of it, but I'm not on it.
Yeah. So Greg Hire, Luke Toki, listen up.
Minus Crow.
Minus Crow.
Alrighty, well look, I actually wanted you to come on the show. This is the first real podcast video show. I've called it Welcome to the Jungle. That's the name of this show. So without, if you don't know, if you haven't played basketball, you don't know yourself, with the man that doesn't need any introduction, Greg Hire, Perth's own.
Further ado, yeah, no, so pleasure. I'd love to say first time,
Talking on the radio.
first time listener or, major listener,
Nathan's
first time
probably-
caller. So, no, pleasure having me.
Cheers.
Obviously, for people that give you a little bit of background, it's a bit of an issue coming in here.
What, could Rockingham?
No, not Rockingham. I don't mind coming in here. I'm making that drive by the Kwinana Oil Refinery, but you take us into this storage site.
Dungeon.
So, my own words were, "Are you murdering me?" As we walk into, but
Don't worry, you're only been raped once or twice.
No, mate. But no, I'm pumped. I'm excited, especially because we're in the midst of seeing you
On TV.
while winning Survivor. But no, yeah. So Greg Hire, former Perth Wildcats player, vice captain, 4-time NBL champion.
Damn, the man doesn't need any
Exactly
introduction.
right. All around legend. Well endowed. And man of many talents. Family show, right?
It is a family show, but that's okay. We can beep
Scrap
out
it.
that whole
Yeah,
entrance.
there you go.
I was like watching a little bit of yourself on YouTube before I
Yes.
came. I thought I'd do a little bit of research.
All right.
I actually downloaded Wikipedia.
That's my intro.
You have you have a Wikipedia.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
What was the highlight?
Well, one thing I did like watching, which something you haven't mentioned to me, the Brisbane Bullets versus the Wildcats. You sunk a 3/4 shot
Yes.
from the 3/4 way.
Yeah.
And I noticed you didn't even smile after you did it.
You
It's
got-
like it was just ain't no thing. You
You
know?
got it right though. Like if I got hyped, it was like it was a surprise, and it didn't mean to happen. So I played it cool, and then
Super cool.
and then as soon as the game was done, like I was watching
Yeah.
highlights, downloading clips, and letting everyone know.
You had the scrapbook out.
Oh, exactly right, mate.
You had the oogloo.
No, but that was like I think at that time as well. Like it's I've been asked to replicate that shot a million times. I would try and do that shot. I got training after this in Rockingham, Mike Barnett.
Straight after
yeah,
this.
straight after this. That's all I've been in here.
I didn't think you were just for.
No, I've got everything in the car.
I was actually hoping you'd come in with the bubbles.
Mate, I don't wear it all the time. I don't go to shops and
You
the
go to-
Wildcats. It's like
go to sleep in it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, are you going to Coles if you're tribal?
Of course. Yeah, I carry the torch everywhere I go.
Yeah, so no, but no, it was a sort of a highlight, and you can't replicate it, but I'll take it. So.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. I thought it was really good. I was everywhere I go into these days. I actually walk around with going na 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 na.
Talk to me about what is. Like, you must be getting noticed a lot now.
It is. It is obviously. It goes through. It was weird actually. The first time you get noticed, you're like, oh, do I have a noticeable face? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't think. You feel like everyone looks the
Have
same.
you had the weird ones in the shops where like someone knows you?
Oh yeah.
And then they know that they know you, but they're too embarrassed to say anything or too shy.
I've had some funny ones. Like there's some real funny ones. I've had so I've been walking through the shops and next minute you just hear someone yell out in the middle of the shops like it's packed.
Yeah.
You're a bloody legend. I'm like,
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I guess my parking's good.
And even I got asked like when you're in the shopping. I think the Coles and Woolies or whatever is the funniest ones because you could be like holding some dunny roll or something. They're like, oh, could we have a photo? And you're like, oh yeah. No,
yeah, for sure. Mate, I've had that many times. Obviously, I'm not as high as you are.
Yeah.
But like the worst is when you like being a professional athlete.
Yeah.
And now that I've retired, I'm fine. But like I'd be walking out of Nando's or KFC, and then they're like, hold on, you Greg Hire? And I'm like, oh yeah, the food's just for my wife at home. Like knowing that I'm about to smash a zinger combo on the way home.
Yeah, they're like, aren't you playing tonight?
Yeah, exactly right. So,
is that a double stacker?
No. But it's and always I'm like, I even just had this with my new job. Like I met a principal and he was like, I know you, and I was like, no, you don't. And he's like, no, I'm pretty sure I know you. And I was like, okay, yes, I played professional basketball for 10 years. But
he's like, no, actually, you're the guy who come out of the zinger. Come out of KFC with a zinger. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I was that guy. Yeah, no, it's obviously, it's funny, like when I had my baby shower.
Yes.
Wet the head.
Yeah,
wet the head. Yeah. So
yeah.
Well, I did actually invite you. I invite you. You invited into my event page that I created on Facebook.
No way.
Swear to God. But then what I didn't realise it was the grand final of your Wildcats game.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
And then you actually decided to bail on mine. When I realised I'd go to the Wildcats game, and I was a little bit disappointed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was thinking, okay,
it was your last Wildcats game
ever.
It was your grand final.
Well, I feel like if I was
King of the Jungle's wet the head was on.
You just said you're the King of the Jungle, so you won. Well, I'm offended because I felt like you should have moved the date.
Well, if I could ask
Where
Mary to
was
hold
it
on, if I could get her to hold on, maybe you need to hold on.
Yeah.
You got Greg High's basketball thing on.
Where was it?
We just had it just down at a local pub. It was funny because I invited a couple of my mates and they were big fans of yours and they didn't come to my Wet the Head because they must be going to your Wildcats game. But they seen you on my event list and they were like, oh my God, dude, you've invited him on...
And that's why.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So then you realise that's why I didn't come.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't put your Wildcats grand final into. You invited me a few times, and I've been. I haven't been able to make it. I know. Well, it goes back and forth now. You know what I mean? I suppose.
I'm hoping that's because.
Was that payback? Is that why?
I'm hoping you won Survivor. So you've been on a massive. Celebration.
Yeah.
And so that's why you don't come to my games. That's the only reason I'm hoping.
Yeah, well,
Was old mate Jericho there?
Jericho wasn't there. No, he couldn't make it. Yeah, obviously none of my good friends could make it. Just had to. You had to.
Was Nathan there?
Nathan wasn't there. No one. I actually was there by myself. We got a good show out. That was. It was actually a good night. We got pissed, but yeah, that's all right. Maybe next baby shower. Maybe next baby shower.
Maybe have a kid.
You don't never know.
There you go.
I got to ask some questions actually for some people. Pretty simple stuff. What size shoe are you?
13.
13. Oh yeah. Normally
small.
Basketball.
Yeah, I know.
Basketball
I've actually got small feet for
Yeah.
I'm 6'6".
Little petite feet.
No, yeah,
basketball feet.
yeah. Compared to everyone, but that's.
What's the biggest foot you've?
Well, my teammate Tom Jervis, 6'10s, bordering 7'4". He's like
6'10".
size 18.
Damn.
So he has to get him.
Big
like,
toes
yeah,
too.
oh,
Right?
yeah. No, ugly feet too. Like basketballers' feet are the worst too because you imagine.
Long.
Well, not that they're just smashed. Like they're like a bucket of smashed crabs because you imagine they're just in
You want to see some bad feet? Try and see Survivor feet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you.
This is my thing, alright.
Ask Mary what my feet.
And this is like, I messaged you last week. I was like, I need to get on the show. Like,
Yeah. That's actually one of my other questions.
I've been. See, my teammates hated it, right? So on the plane, we watch hours and hours of shows, documentaries, reality TV. Not reality TV as much, but I am the only one that watches reality TV. Before Australian Survivor, I'd watched like 30 seasons of
Survivor?
Yeah, in America.
Oh, yeah. So you watched the whole lot.
Mate, I was like...
And now you're sitting here with the King of the Jungle.
Exactly right. So, like, I'm here in royalty.
Yeah.
So, like, and my teammates would hate it. They're like, why are you watching this? It's the same stuff going on. Like, the backstabbing.
The gameplay.
The gameplay.
It's intense, eh?
Oh, mate, I loved it. And so even, like, going... Like the ebbs and flows, you're like, oh, this guy's a favourite, and then like something's about to happen.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Don't take my word for it. But anyway, so like, massive fan of it. Where was I going with it? Where did we start?
You were talking about how I was going to ask you. We mentioned about Survivor.
Yeah.
You wanted to go on Survivor because the thing is, I like it. Super fans.
Yeah. So I've got so many questions, right? Back on this.
Yeah.
Hair.
Girls
are like going
laser.
What do you mean, laser?
They get laser.
Oh, before.
So I don't know what happened on probably Survivor 1.
Yeah.
Back in like 30 years ago. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people would be creeping behind the bush, you know what I mean? It'd be a different bush. You know what I mean? Like, that's Survivor 1, but now there's technology. A lot of the girls, which I heard is get laser.
Okay.
So that's why you see some without underarm hair, some that have forgot to get laser or have underarm hair. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's how that works.
And you're not like body hygiene and stuff? Like
body hygiene is you have nothing other than the ocean to wash yourself. So, salt water.
Yeah.
Some people don't, get in there probably more than others.
Yeah.
That
What do you like?
I'm in the ocean every morning.
Yeah.
I like waking up in the morning. I got the ocean right at my footstep.
Yeah.
I'm a
so everything that you see is what you get.
Everything you see. It's probably worse. I say this 1,000 times to people. Survivor is worse because you don't see or feel the hunger that you could be feeling when you're out there. When you just see me at the start of the challenge or the tribe at the start of a challenge, and we're about to push it.
Yeah.
And we haven't eaten stuff all. Like, we're actually hungry as right there. That's why all you do is talk about food. You talk about food a lot. There would be footage, hours and hours and hours of who could make the best cheesecake and what ingredients. I can't even make a cheesecake, but I was selling it that I could, and I would tell like different types of ingredients I'd be using out there. Never cooked a cheesecake in my life. It was just, that's what happens out there. You somehow... Everything links back to food. It's like, who should you vote out? Who should I vote? Oh yeah, sweet. Should we get back as after this? Afterwards, that's what happens.
Sponsor.
But what? Okay, so if you were gonna play some, plug the sponsor, McDonald's. If you would play, that was one of my questions. If you were gonna play Survivor, because I like it that super fans get a shot.
Yeah.
People that have exactly done what you've done. Like, they know all the people, they've watched it all, because they kind of come in knowing that the game. Yeah. And it's like, not like loyalty. Loyalty, I hate loyalty out there. Don't get me wrong, there's loyalty. Everything is basis on loyalty, but there's also being a snake, like the snake channel.
Which is like now a meme.
I got another question. So,
what was your question about Survivor? See, this is my thing though, right? See, I've had this discussion because as soon as I spoke to you, and I was like, and obviously I'm like, admire the human that you are and what you're going. So seeing you on the show and like even my colleague was like, oh, Luke Toki, and I was like, that's my guy. Like, and then she was like, I could see why you guys are friends. You guys are similar sense of humor. And then, so it's good to see you like thriving on it.
Yeah.
But then part of me is like,
I want to get on that show and vote him out.
No, not that. But I would be like, you talk about loyalty, but I'd actually be really offended if someone like, which is part of the game. Right? Like even when I'd be watching first season, no blindsides ever happened, right?
Yeah. It was mateship.
Yeah. And
Chuck
then-
me in there, brother. I'm telling you, it takes one person.
Of course, but that's the
That's
thing.
all it
That's
takes.
what crazy is the show.
You can
like,
have the
with
whole thing as
Mate,
mateship, and you chuck one person
No,
in there,
and that's
and I'm
what-
telling you, you can just
No.
turn it into a shit
In
show.
4 episodes, there is like 4 different like alliance, and everything happens, and it's so chaotic.
Yeah.
I like a little bit of structure in my life.
Yeah.
I feel like
I thrive in chaos.
yeah. So for me, I'm going to be like, if I was ever to be on that show, I'd be like upset because I'd be like taking it personal. Like,
Yeah. Well, you see, you wouldn't know until it's too late.
of course.
You know what I mean?
But then I'd be heated.
Yeah, and then you'd just be getting voted out.
Yeah, of course. And obviously I don't win.
Yeah.
But then like I'm taking heads afterwards.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, there actually are people that try to take heads afterwards.
Yeah.
There's people that get a little bit upset afterwards.
Yeah.
Some people treat it as the
Did they
game's
ever
a game.
show that like sometimes like because I hate losing.
That people get upset afterwards.
Like if you voted me out and say we're boys, and then
and
I'd
then,
be like going,
yeah. Oh,
mate,
it happens. There's look, if you dug deep and scratched the surface, there are relationship issues with people that have played the game.
yeah, like
I
after
don't-
this show, you mean?
Yeah, definitely. Like it's going
But
on
like, you know
now.
how when they
But I
vote,
don't
when
think-
they vote him out though, they just walk up, flames extinguish, and they walk off.
Yeah.
But they never really show their reaction.
Well, they give you. That's why the reaction comes as the Facebook lives. So that's where you can air all your laundry if you want to. If you want to jump on the project, if you want to jump on Studio 10,
okay.
if you want to jump on all those and have a big old whinge about people,
Yeah, but then I feel like you've got some time to relax, and that's where I'd be like,
Yeah.
after a while, see
You'd
the
be
show go.
sweet.
But in that
But in that
moment,
moment-
I'd be like going,
well, they do the. Well, I think after merge, they do. It's like the jury villa, and then they record you, and you can, and they'll ask you questions about, are you upset, old mate, blindsided? Because you'll be walking into jury villa with potentially the people who are voted out.
those people
So,
are on the jury for how long? What are they doing? They just sinking beers?
whatever.
inside.
Oh, like I suppose when we were on my season
Yeah,
2017. Yeah. I got there. I got voted out 7th. So that was just like you
So
just.
how many more days of filming were there?
I think it was like 6 or 7. Or
Oh,
something
okay.
like that. It goes quick after, like,
Yeah.
or something like that. I can't remember.
Okay.
But
So
they just
you're
you
on
kind of
that
hang
show
out
for
and you
6
kind of
days.
think about, you watch it. So you go to every tribal, you sit in there and you watch the show unravel, and you make your own opinion about who is going, who's done well.
Yeah.
You got to, and that's why the tribal councils, when you sit in them,
Yeah.
you need to perform to some degree because the people are watching you.
Yeah.
And if you get made look like a fool in tribal council and you're still in there, and then and do it constantly, that's where in the end they're going to go, well, we don't want to give it to you because
Yeah, of course.
so that's how the Survivor,
It's changed over the whole dynamic. I remember when it first started. Now it's like people that
well, they still had
play the
3
game,
people
right?
at the end, and then it's a mix of everything.
No, I know that, but like, I mean, I remember seeing a show like in America, like there was a guy that, like, just because he was able to blindside so many people and like shift alliances, he ended up winning because he outwitted everyone and like that was the way. So, compared and for the show, you're like, makes sense. Like,
I think that's where the game's evolved. It's evolved now to the point
it's
where
not just the strongest competitor that wins all those.
no way. Like, otherwise, it's just the big man always wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
The game's changed so much. They've got South Africa Survivor, which is really good.
You watch all of them now?
I don't have time to watch all of them. I try to. I really got into the New Zealand ones.
Yeah.
They only had 2 seasons, and that was great.
Yeah.
Man, there were some characters on that one. I really liked those.
Yeah.
And the American ones obviously just keep delivering. I think they're up to their 40th season, which they're doing like
crazy,
all winners.
Yeah.
All winners.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So
then you'll be on that one.
maybe, just having a bit of downtime now. Nah, you never know. But Survivor's all started in America. Because America's that's the. Like the golden egg. There'll always be the golden egg. It's kind of like the NBA. Like, I remember being younger And I remember watching Ricky Grace in the Wildcats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was the man.
Yeah,
and as you said, I think I looked at it and said, like, Andrew Vlahov.
Yeah.
Like, was it Luke Longley?
Yeah. Well, Longley went to the Bulls.
Yeah, he went to Bulls. Like, you know, but obviously it all started at Wildcats, didn't it?
for sure.
Yeah, didn't it? Didn't he?
He
Wasn't
haven't played Wildcats.
Oh, wasn't it?
He started like as a Perth guy and then.
Oh, okay, I thought he was
went to
Perth.
college. But
Oh,
like,
okay.
Those Grace, James Crawford.
But see, remember when you were a little kid,
Yeah.
they were like the Jordans of
course.
Australia.
Mate,
you
I
know?
used to just, like pay $5 to buy a nosebleed seat at the entertainment centre.
Yeah.
And then I would move all the way down
Yeah.
to like courtside.
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah, sick. And they were the games. I remember I swear I went to a game back in the day when I was little, and it was like Magic Johnson come over.
yeah,
and
he
versed.
came with like Michigan.
Yeah, and I swear, man, I was at there was the bus, and he threw his shoes out, bro. And I got a shoe, and I swear to God, I was like 6 or something.
So where is it?
Some old man took it off me, bro.
What are you doing?
He like legit, I got a shoe, and I was like, I thought I had Magic Johnson's shoe, I swear to God. And this guy come up and was like, here, give it here, and then took it off me, and I was like, I can't even remember. I don't know, for some reason I just have that memory.
Mate, I'd be holding onto that shoe for dear life.
Oh, well, you know, I'm 6, you know.
I hope this old man's like watching this podcast.
Yeah,
And it's like,
if you're watching.
I just got the.
If you're watching, old man, give me back my shoe.
I've just got the king of the jungle, Magic Johnson shoe.
Yeah, because that was can you remember when they come over?
Bro, that was so long ago. I reckon it would have been like
Yeah,
92.
it was-
or
Yeah,
something
well there you
like
go.
that.
So I would have been 8 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
close
eight
enough.
years old. Yeah, I tried to hold on to that shoe for dear life. All right, I got another question for you that was asked. Any tips for any aspiring basketball players? Since now you've been the top of the game,
Yeah, okay.
you've held it down in Australia. You know,
I have.
You have.
Holding down the 3 world too.
yeah, that's what I want to know about too. Because
Yeah,
yeah,
you're playing in that.
yeah, I know. Have you seen White Man Can't Jump?
Yeah, of course, mate.
Yeah,
Tom
I'm like Sydney,
Yeah.
and you're like the chump getting off the train. Like, that's what will
What do
happen.
in the end though? But the
Yeah.
chump's wife is beautiful.
Oh yeah, she is, but she's got
Alright.
a head on her shoulders too.
No, I think. Oh, I know. My biggest tips. I mean, obviously, I've always just been a big believer. Like the way I've been successful in my career has sort of been like maybe this is in Survivor as well.
Yeah.
Was like
Sinking
like,
threes from 3/4.
exactly. Right. No, like I just made sure like whatever I was good at, like my strengths.
Yeah,
I always just made sure that I
did them the best.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you know, like if I wasn't playing well, if I was struggling for form or whatever, like I always reverted back to like my strengths. Now that's obviously different, like from a professional standpoint. Like
Yeah.
when you're younger, you obviously want to work on everything.
Yeah.
But it's so weird.
So
like,
were you just working on the bench, warming the bench?
Yeah, exactly
no.
right. No.
What was your strengths? What was your...
like rebounding.
Oh, yeah,
intensity,
just holding down
energy,
that-
Like
yeah,
the
you always
hustle,
hold
the
out that-
passion. So like that's what
Yeah,
that
that
was
grunt
my
in the middle,
role,
eh?
and hit the shots like the open shots. But I was never a guy like to play make. But at a young age, you obviously want to refine that around.
Yeah.
So you do want to work on your weaknesses. But I
Yeah.
think so many times, like I'll go to like a gym now, like and I'll see young kids and they are doing things that they don't incorporate into a game.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
they don't, and so they just waste time. So I
Yeah,
don't know,
okay.
maybe because I'm a professional, like
Now,
time
yeah.
is important. Like you only
Yeah.
have that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. And the other thing is like be a sponge. Like try and immerse yourself with as many people as you can. So
Yeah.
like, you know, in terms of quality players, like
Yeah.
try and be mentored, do that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. But I guess the last thing is like for me, it's like. And it's at any age, is like always make sure that you're the hardest worker. Like
Yeah.
that's simple. And I guess just that's my trait. Like just because I'm not athletic.
Yeah.
I'm not talented, like
Yeah.
skillfully, like than anyone else. So
Yeah.
I always was be able to succeed just because of energy and just being determined. And I always made sure that I'd always be the hardest working. And so if that meant staying behind at training or getting an extra individual in, or like when I knew there was a little bit of day off, like even at a young age, like when you're young, you're not worried about like being tired. You don't have kids, you're not gonna
Yeah.
so I just like smashed my body and
Yeah.
so I always just made sure from that age. So it's different as I guess once you mature and like if different levels. If you're that young up and coming junior, but then once you're maybe getting close to that professional circuit, you
Just
gotta
put the
sort of
time in.
and I think as well, even from a role, I had to sort of acknowledge that the role I played for Wildcats, in order for me to be there, or in order for the team to succeed, I had to appreciate that role. Maybe even at times when I wanted a bit more, but that just wasn't what was best for the team. So you sort of just have to accept your role.
Yeah. What is I had a hell good question while you were saying that. No, it was like what. How did you transition from being, say for instance, as you were just saying, so you went from junior to playing for the Wildcats. Was there any point that you didn't like it?
I loved it though. For my journey, I went to college and did 4 years there. And so when I got offered a contract after my first year of college. Yeah. Came back.
Oh, that's all right. So you just went to college?
So I went away, came back. The coach at the time, Scott Fisher, offered me a gig, and it was $14,000. That's the minimum contract at Wildcats at that stage. But I was like, nah. I'll go back to college. If I'm getting offered a gig in my first year, I'm surely going to be offered a gig after 4, and I'll get a degree at the same time and live that whole collegiate life.
What were you studying?
Primary school teaching.
Oh yeah, okay, all right.
I've never used that degree in my life, but in some aspects I do now. But when I came back, I was obviously naive and a bit thinking, I'll get a gig, and the opportunities didn't exist. Coaches had changed from the Wildcats, so I basically was a development player for the first season, and so my contract salary was $6,000. And to give you a rundown, and I say this to kids, $6,000 maybe seems significant for a 12-year-old kid, but for me, my hourly rate was $2.50 an hour, which is pretty poor. But in saying that, I loved it. I love being around the guys, love the whole professional environment, love being in a professional system, love that brotherhood and mateship that comes with professional sports. It was awesome. And so I worked 4 jobs. But that year I just sacrificed everything in the world. If I made sure okay, I want to be a Wildcats player, diet, all that. And so there was an opportunity there where there was no roster spots available. So either I move over east and try and get a gig and play in another league there and then hopefully get picked up, or stay in Perth or move on. And I was so comfortable with the decision. I was there's no jobs here. There's a full roster. I was if I don't get a gig and no one gives me a spot, and unless they fire someone, which they won't, I was happy to move on in my life, knowing that I had given it all. So, and it's funny, would have I maybe regretted it 6 or 7 years later, knowing I could have played that level and never did? Maybe, but at that time, I was more than comfortable to go, you know what, I gave it a crack. It wasn't I didn't leave a stone unturned, as a cliche, but I was sort of no, I gave it. And then, in that moment, a player was disgruntled with his position, so he left to go to another club, and an opportunity came up, a spot came up, and I was offered that gig, and then stayed on for the next 9 seasons. So, and that was obviously opportunities and all that sort of stuff. It is nuts, and but even now I'll retire and be I've accomplished what I wanted to do.
And some.
And to a point where I'm that's the reason why I retired. I was I can continue winning championships, don't get me wrong, it's the greatest feeling in the world, but I was I'm a very goal-oriented person. I was spending and get emotionally involved with the game that it had consumed my life to a huge part, such an emotional aspect. And I was once now it's actually making an impact in my life, to my wife, to my kids and all that, then it's the time to step away. And so it was the right time for me, but that transition is tough, to being an amateur to a professional, but I think that's all part of the journey, and that's why you enjoy it.
Well, you probably stepped away because you ran out of fingers on one hand, didn't you? Unless you want to put a ring on the thumb.
I thought you meant because of my numb.
What the hell?
I was why are you bringing my amputated finger in the conversation?
What the hell happened there?
Well, I got slammed in the door twice, in 6 weeks in America. So, it got slammed in the door.
Yeah, so it was
hanging
recovering.
By a thread. It was 3/4 off. Oh. Had to have surgery to keep it in there, and then literally only a few weeks later, I was messing around with one of my boys, and I was trying to run out the door like run out of the room, and he slammed the door shut, and then my finger just flung off, like it just like chopped off. I came back. I had like surgery overnight, like to try and I was in like so many pain meds. So I like rocked up to my like dorm, and there was just the edge of my finger was just on this tissue on the table, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, who would do that?"
You couldn't find it.
No, well, my team. I went straight to hospital, and my teammate thought it'd be like,
funny
if I needed it, like if I could reattach it. So I was like, mate, why are you bringing up such a subject?
I would have put it in a jar.
Oh, mate,
with some olive oil.
I wanted it now, like, because I reckon it'd be a hilarious sort of party thing. Like,
Oh yeah,
just leaving it, putting it in bottles, like just walking
just hell manky.
Yeah, putting it in someone's ear, like. Just disgusting.
Put in Nathan's coffee.
Mate, exactly right. Like in his giant tea mug, just on Survivor, just having it on my necklace. Not saying it's part of the shark attack. Yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, that's
that's all good.
Wow, that was crazy, brother. That story, like, you know, to obviously, because I'm a big believer on opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can sit there some days and it just feels like you're going through the paces of life, and you're like, man, like I just feel like I need something to like open up, and it might be something as small as a mate giving you a call and saying, hey, do you want to give us a hand with a project or whatever, or you know, and then to find out then you were thinking to go, oh, you know, I gave it a good shot with basketball.
Yeah.
Next minute,
Mate, I'm a massive believer.
bloody 9 years later.
Things happen for a reason, like in the world. And yeah, it's the way you approach it. Like, I mean, the only reason why, like, again, opportunity, a guy got concussed and that allowed me to go on the road and travel with the guys and then play in a big game. For the coach to see that, like, if that didn't happen, like if a guy doesn't get hurt, then I don't get an opportunity to put my hand up and show that I can perform in front of bright lights.
Maybe it happened for a reason, because you were praying on the side of your bed, going, please somebody get injured.
Yeah, this is
please. Reenactment.
Voodoo dolls, sticking needles in people's like
the voodoo dolls
and stuff. No, I mean, like, look at your opportunity. Like, you're a survivor now. You're $250,000 richer.
It's 500,000. Get it right. Man. I got another question for you. Who's your favorite NBA player? Damn, world wants to know that. One player.
Yeah.
And actually, one player that's not playing, one player that is playing.
Oh, well, Michael Jordan's my all-time favorite.
Who you can't do,
I love Kevin Durant, so don't get me wrong, one guy. Unfortunately, he's hurt, but I just like a guy that's 7 foot and can move around like him is pretty ridiculous. So sort of transforming game in a way.
Yeah,
so,
he's a monster.
Yeah.
You see they're doing a new
Space Jam.
Yeah, you know where I was going for that when I said monster, eh?
Straight away.
LeBron.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
What do you reckon?
Nah.
Who do you reckon would be better? Like if it wasn't LeBron, who could it be?
Nah, it's only him.
It has to be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it has to be. But what if it wasn't him?
Oh, see, then I'd want someone like.
Yeah, Greg Hire. Greg Hire.
Yeah, imagine that.
Greg Hire, Space Jam.
There is no, like, LeBron's the biggest personality.
Yeah, I know. He's huge. Yeah, you have to.
Right now.
Yeah,
like,
and I reckon they'll do it right, man. They're pretty good. Like, they'd have enough bank for it.
You know what would be good is if they bring back Jordan in some capacity.
Well, he hands over the title. Yeah, like he's actually living in cartoon world.
Yeah, like he's now part of the monster.
Yeah. Well, that's. Well, he could.
I reckon the producers haven't even thought about that. I reckon.
Don't you reckon? Do you reckon they've never thought about that? They have probably a hell long table.
Watch this show.
They will. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll plug in Space Jam in the
tags.
Yeah, the tags.
Yeah.
And next they'll be like, "What the hell? What's these white boys from Australia talking about Space Jam with like 7 views?"
MJ. Yeah, I've got an idea. Can you feature on Space Jam too? Sick. Or even who was the guy that came in at the end of the cameo? Like that, the white guy.
Who
Not
was
Dan
that?
Aykroyd.
Oh, not the not the guy.
That was from Ghostbusters,
That short
right?
little fat guy.
No, yeah, he had the hat backwards.
I don't even know him. I just remember him.
The guy that was the guy from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
No, not him. The guy was in Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Like the coach.
Yeah, well, he says he's the coach.
Yeah. Yeah. I
comes
figured
at
it
the
was.
end and
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
like-
well, he'd be pretty old now. He's still kicking around.
It's Hollywood, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we put some makeup on him. All right, I got another one for you. You've obviously watched Survivor. Other than me, who's your favourite Survivor? Well, favourite Australian Survivor. Since now there has been the 4 seasons.
It's like I like Jericho because I met him.
Oh yeah, true, yeah. Oh yeah, Jerry's alright. I suppose.
I didn't mind Matt Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers. Yeah, he got a lot of he got a lot
Obviously
of
good
love
like,
around that. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah. Who else would I go with?
Who do you reckon's like most? Who do you think's got the most? You know, like going them with. You know what I mean? Like gameplay, strategy. Who do you reckon? If who do you reckon would take it out if they had another
This
shot?
year?
Or just in general, like say for instance, if you had to bring back one player from Survivor, who do you think would take it out? Out of all of them?
Yeah, Richard from Survivor 1.
Richard Hatch, the naked guy. I think do you know what? It's funny. They were talking about him coming back for season 40, and I actually looked at a tweet and I found that he didn't get asked.
Oh, really? Why?
I don't know.
Did he do? He
Well,
got
something-
done for tax evasion or something.
Yeah, and
right?
I think he rubbed up getting some girl while he was naked on the island or something.
In all seriousness.
And she sued him or something. That's the word on the street.
Who's your favourite of all time?
Player?
Yeah.
Oh, Tony Vlachos or whatever you call it. Is
Backwards guy? No.
Nah, he's the creep shack guy from America. He was the man.
Who's the one that
Look,
got
I've
married?
watched enough. I've watched a fair few, but no one can beat Tony. Tony's number one for entertainment. For to sit there and play that crazy game all the way up and win.
Who was it
He-
like
he's-
there?
he
There was a
changed-
guy,
he
was
changed
like
the
a
game.
fireman, and he was a real country guy. It was only would have been like 4 or 5 seasons ago, maybe 6. And he was
The cowboy.
Yeah.
In America,
but
Ben.
he was
He won he got about 6 idols at the end and
Yes.
won. Yeah.
And
he was my favorite. We had a draft and I actually picked him at the start.
Okay,
and he won me on one.
that's a guy that I because
He's
when
good
you were
dude.
talking about the whole scenario,
Yeah.
no one I was like, why are they not voting this guy out? He is
Well, they were trying to, but he kept playing an idol.
no, he swindled everyone around. Like he started blindsiding people. Like somehow he would be like, oh, I'll bring you along for this thing, and then wait like a week or a day of show. And then
blindside.
wait, or they would win like the whole challenge that he couldn't get voted out.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, when it was by himself, he still like found a way.
Yeah. If it is Ben, he's. I like watching the end of that. People were saying it's rigged because he found idol after idol after idol, but the fellow got up every morning, went looking. The thing
How
is,
hard is it to find an idol? Like you obviously found.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because it seems like on the show it's the easiest thing in the world.
No. It's opportunity. You have to.
Because even sometimes I'm like, how the hell did they just find?
Well, you got to kind of understand that there's that will be put into play rewards.
Yeah.
So that's obviously one main thing. But you start being real sketchy, and when people are watching, people be looking around. Imagine we're hanging around here, and you're not even I'm talking to you, but you're not even looking at me, and you're just like looking under these and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll be like, man, Greg's off his head, man. He's sketchy as, bro. So you need to kind of.
What was the controversy? No, a few seasons ago, the chick that won it,
Yep.
and she was like, what happened at the end? Like she was in that poll.
The chick who won it, the first or second?
Yeah, it would have been the first one. Right?
Christy.
Yeah, and then they went down that route where, didn't she say like, oh, you can come with me to tribal? Or you come with me to the end.
That was what. Yeah. So she was hot. She held on to that thing for like 6 hours or something
And then
crazy.
the guy gave up.
And then he fell off. He fell
What
off.
was the one? There was,
But she was like, please, like, let me out. Yeah. One of the most craziest endings there. She was super emotional, asking for him to step down for once because he was just winning.
Yeah.
And then but he didn't step down. He fell off.
Well, why would you?
So, well, that's what she was trying to play into
Because
the
even some of the
emotions,
ones
I
I've
guess.
seen in America, you'll see it. And I've seen them where sometimes the guy's like, all right. And then they'll take him and then they lose to him. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like,
Well,
there was one where he was
It's just the emotional part of it. You've played the game, you're solid. It's kind of like what you said, right? You said you'd be fully upset that if your mate blindsided you and you'd be dirty as. Imagine me and you played the game all the way.
Yeah.
Brothers,
Yeah.
all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And then next minute I pick old stupid little Sally over there.
But I'm choosing the word. If I'm going to tribal at the very end, like even I think I saw one in America a few years ago, or a few seasons ago, he wins and then he's like, he can take whoever he wants, and he chose a harder competitor because he was like, it's the right thing to do. They deserve to be there. And then he lost to her because like she deserved to be there. And I was like, you would have taken your worst opponent. Like there was like some old lady that just got strung along the whole time because no one thought she was gonna win. So like, sweet, let's
That's what the show does. You like sometimes you can.
So like, who
do you
did
know,
you take in the end to win this time?
Maybe I took everybody. You're like certain. Now look with the game, it's like when you look at all the seasons, there has been different types of winners. Like constantly.
I know.
So you could get the big burly guy that's won all the challenges and he wins. Yeah. And then you get the guy that's done nothing and wins. Last year we had a 6-year-old winner.
Yeah.
We've had. It changed. That's the beauty of Survivor. It's the twists and turns and the relationships. They always change, and so the end, the finalist is always
Deserving.
changes or deserve. Well, you say deserving because you definitely made it to the end.
Yeah, for sure.
But it changes with what your generic picture is of who's going to be. You look at the cast and on paper you're like, oh, there's the winner.
Yeah.
But you can't pick it these days.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It is like. Actually, do you want to see something funny? Right. So you see me tag you in on Instagram and you ask people to say what they don't like about you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I just I thought I'd write it down
Jeez,
or let you know. Do you want to read them yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You can read them yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So you read them one at a time. So down the bottom there. So things.
What, do you not have
So read that at the top and then read.
but who wrote them though?
Well, just people.
No, I want to know.
I'm not diving in.
What? Are they strangers
Yeah,
or?
probably strangers.
Nah,
strangers.
Bring up their names.
All right, I'll look them up.
Yeah, no, right now.
Yeah, well.
So someone said, ask people what they don't like, and someone said, my mustache. And then said, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you can say it.
Shit hair. What is shit pass?
You have a shit pass at basketball as well.
Shit pass. And I look like a mole rat. Was that just you?
No, I didn't put that. That was just some other guy.
No. I want to know
What does it say at the end, last one?
he looks like a mole rat. That's definitely you.
I swear to God, I didn't say that. That's what I was looking up just before to get that last one across the line.
Surely,
Because that one came in about a minute before, like we actually.
Oh, you were just quickly writing it yourself. Jeez, mate.
All right, before we go, we're going to ask one more thing.
Go.
You're running a 3-versus-3
Yes.
basketball competition.
Yeah. So we're going to run a league. I'm playing for Australia at the moment, doing like international competitions. So going to run a league out of an establishment in Kings Park Road called Donny Taco. So
Donny Taco.
Get down there, target the best tacos in Perth.
Oh, really?
Plus a couple of beers. So
Yeah.
We're going to run a sort of a social rec league, which obviously you'll be partaking in.
Yeah,
because I know
boy.
you love playing.
You know, brother.
And we're going to lower the hoop down to like 9 foot so people can yoke it.
When I shoot a 3, I get 4 points. That's how good I am.
Oh my God. I can't wait. Because you know who will play? Our mate David Vincent.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll definitely play.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe you forge a team with him.
Oh, you might hold me back.
He'll definitely hold you back.
Yeah. I'll be more. He could probably bring me the oranges for half time. He'll listen to
I
this
made
too.
that's not true. Yeah, that's not true. He's the one that's like a mole rat. That's why. I definitely know that one. So we're going to launch in the next couple of weeks. So jump around. There's going to be like a semi-pro league, but the names are going to be a bit unique. So we're full getting like customised jerseys.
Yeah,
with,
that's
like,
so good.
With like suburbs. So like.
Who said Perth doesn't have culture?
Mate, exactly.
Hey, 3v3,
Exactly.
Kings Park basketball.
Mate, exactly. So some of the teams' names like the West Leadville Hipsters. And,
Yeah. There's obviously the dirty South Rockingham boys that are going to come up.
Exactly. Right, mate. So we've got to try and keep it PG, otherwise you can really go. Another
Yeah, we'll roll up with just budgie smugglers. That's how we play.
This saw me on our favourite radio station just the other day, and Budgies didn't.
Oh no!
Are you serious?
No, what did you do?
Mate, go on and Nathan and Sean.
Oh, yeah.
I rocked up there to shoot some hoops for like a prize, and I took off all the clothes.
Did ya?
Yeah, it was just in the budgies and.
Oh really?
Mate, you got to stay grounded, and that's.
You know what I'm doing?
Free.
You know what I'm doing coming up?
For Nathan and Sean.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
So I've been calling myself the People's Champ.
Of course, Sean.
Sean calls
you
himself. So we're actually going to have a People's Champ off.
Yeah. What are you doing?
We're going to walk the streets and see who the real People's Champ is.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
When's that happening?
I think in about a week.
Okay.
A week and a half. So it's
Are
going to
you
be
nervous,
like,
or-
no way. I'm the People's Champ. Boy. I'm the real People's Champ.
You really are?
The idea is who helps the people the most. So we're going to go out and actually like embrace the people.
Yeah.
And see how much they love the.
So what are you thinking
the
about
champ?
doing?
Well, there's you could pay for someone's parking just as they get out of the car.
But you're not obviously selling your ideas to him.
No way, unless he's watching this.
No,
he'll probably do something like
He's just doing free man
something awkward.
Just use your network and then just like.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna come in hot and heavy. He won't know what hit him. Yeah. He'll be called the people's chump after that. Like
even if you call me up and then I'll come up like deliver flowers to someone in the budgets. You know what I mean? Like you just rock up, call, and say, and then they're like, "Mate, I've got everyone," and so that's why people. You obviously get the wrestling belt, right? Yeah. I might as well roll up. Yeah, I'll roll up with that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And like the
he'll be like, oh my god, this guy's going all in,
and then rock up the next day
with just like the Andre the Giant, like the one piece over the shoulder with the belt. He'll just and in a taxi or an Uber, like that's how I roll up.
But then the next day, when you're obviously the people's champ, like actually rock up before him and be sitting in the chair.
He'll go to start his work, start his shift.
I reckon. What I'd love to do, because I don't. That Nathan will watch the show. But I don't know if we'll watch it in the entirety because he's so busy.
Yeah.
Is like we need to stitch up Nathan, and
it's beautiful that we're saying this right at the end because he's probably like already zigzagged over it. We'll stitch him up.
And then when he realizes, because. There'll be some things like we can just put like beanbag balls in his car.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We just need to find a supplier because it's expensive. But surely beanbag.
Let's just pretend like we're doing a charity.
Yeah.
There's
orphanages. Beanbag.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden when we get a massive thing, we just go do his car. Boom.
God, how annoying would that be?
All right, man. Wait, thanks for coming on, Greg.
Pleasure.
I appreciate you've actually made it down to Rockingham without getting stabbed, shot, or blindfolded, raped, or anything.
I'm not out yet.
I suppose we're going to go check out your car if the tyres are still on it.
And the storage unit.
Appreciate you coming on. Where can everyone find you, Greg?
Mate, Greg for Hire on Instagram, just simple as that.
Yeah,
So,
all right, Greg for Hire. See you, mate.
At the top of my chops, karate chopping pots, potting up a couple of crops. I think I've lost the plot. I sink a lot of shots, shooting savants. I don't know what's happening now, let alone in a month. A loaded gun couldn't cut me down. I cut the mustard and muster up the hounds. I'm hounding to let them out. Outing's got that canine cloud your judgment with the way rhymes spout. Keep it 100, I'ma make mine count.
I got your head nod, I got your head nod. I'm deadly when I pull the pin out. I got your head nod, I got your head nod. I'm deadly when I pull the pin out.
head.